Hello and welcome. So today I'm going to be attempting to solve the Guardian's Quick Cryptic number 18, and this has been published on the 3rd of August 2024. It's set by Picaroon. Now, just a reminder, this is a series of puzzles that's aimed at helping out beginners and people who are new to cryptics to get into them. So I do these solves a little bit slower and I talk through what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking. And I haven't looked at it yet other than to kind of make a note of the types of clue we've got. So we only have 4 types of clue, which are anagrams, so that means we're going to get some letters in there. Charades, which is where you take say 2 words, put them together to make a new word. Double definitions, which are quite tough to get to because you can have quite often, well, we'll talk about them, but if you can't think of a word that means for both either side of the definition, you can be in trouble. And a cryptic definition, so cryptic definition is just there is no helping thing. You just have to kind of it's quite often like a pun or just a phrase that means something else. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. This could be a rather interesting day because this could be a little bit of fun because there's at least, well, anagrams are the only ones that are giving any letters towards it. Charades, charades I think of 2 words, that might help. They might be okay. So anyway, let's have a go. Let's begin. One across. A Scott travelling. So my first thought is I've got a 5-letter word, and A Scott is 5 letters, and then travelling makes me think, this is an anagram. And then I've just read the rest of the clue inside sea area, which is the coast. So coast goes in. Let's look at 3 down. Might this reveal Hazel or Holly's age? And we've got this clue and this clue going in there. So this sounds like one of these cryptic definitions. Might this reveal Hazel or Holly's age? So certainly it's unlikely to be an anagram. It could be a charade. It could be a double definition, but I think it's from the state with the question mark on the end. It's probably one of these cryptic definitions. Something to do with tree ring. I don't know. I'm going to leave that, but I think that's probably tree ring. I'm not going to even try putting anything. Let's look at this explosive device in depot or moved around. So I'm seeing the words moved around, thinking anagram. Depot is depot, or is 7 letters. I'm looking for a 7-letter answer. Explosive device would be a torpedo, I think. Ooh, and if I could spell it, it'd be even better. Torpedo. There we go. I'm going to fill in some nouns. Quite often when you got this length of a clue, you might have an anagram on the quick cryptic. Let's see, a future admiral or emperor. Okay, we've got a question mark. There's no obvious anagram indicator. Could be a charade, could be a double definition, could be a charade or a double definition. But I think that question mark says to me it's going to be a cryptic definition. Can't think. Let's move on to 2 down. Show fortified wine. So fortified wine, I think is port, but in transport hub. There's port, but that doesn't fit. I've got AR. I'm looking for a hidden word when there aren't any hidden words. Show fortified is possibly could be a charade. Let's take a word for show. Take a word for airport now. Show is air, and port was indeed port. I was very confused by that R being there and not being able to fit port into that bit. But airport and a transport hub is an airport. So that's a good example of a charade. We've got the air for show and port for fortified wine go together to make a transport hub. The airport, excuse me. Swindle man used in chess. I kind of think that's rook, but I don't think it is. Swindle man. So I'm looking there. I can't see an anagram. I've just opened the window, let some air in, and there's a plane going over. So sorry if you can hear that. I think that's double definition with swindle and then man used in chess, which, as I say, would be king, queen, bishop, rook. Although I don't really know that swindle is a rook, but I'm guessing it must be if that's so. Castle, or I don't know if there's another name for castle. Oh, pawn. A man used in chess. Swindle man. I would think that's rook, but I'm not convinced by it. So let's try another let's go over here. French writer never changes, so that looks like an anagram of never. 5-letter word I'm looking for, never, and change it saying anagram French writer Jules Verne, I believe. Not sure how that accent went across. Knock what Jay-Z and Kanye West do. Well, I know they're rappers, and if you knock, you're rapping. So that's double definition for knock is to rap, and what Jay-Z and Kanye West do is to rap. And that to me is a really good clue for this level of crossword, because at least for me that feels like it's fairly obvious without being immediately obvious. Starter of pork, and then that is an IE, and we've got in pastry, pie, so another charade. See if we can knock this one off. Taking this, I've seen the word bow at the end of the clue, I'm looking at that thinking violin. Playing this, the performer ought to take a bow. So in fact, yes, so I was lucky I read that without taking it in context, so violin. So that's a good cryptic. You can see how cryptic definitions work now on that one. Playing this, the performer ought to take a bow, but obviously a performer of a violin also needs a bow. 10 across, worst detective inspector, so I've got an I there already, but DI needs break from work. Break from work is arrest, and the worst is the diarist. What's this going to be? A shocking swimmer. Electric eel, I guess. That's, I mean, I could see the, what did I have had? The EET, and shocking swimmer. I mean, you can see what the cryptic pun there is. Electric eels swim, and electricity is shocking. This looks like something like kiwi. Antipodean fruit. That's a double def for kiwi. Antipodean kiwi. Yeah, someone from New Zealand is known as a kiwi, and a type of fruit is kiwi. Changing diet. So I've got EI, so I'm thinking that's going to be an anagram of. Oh, interesting. Changing diet. Gins drunk. Now, changing is an anagram indicator, and drunk is an anagram indicator. So one of those is the anagram indicator. One of them's assuming that this is. It's editing, isn't it? Oh, edit, and then ing, which is changing. So drunk was the anagram indicator, and we were looking to get to changing. So with a clue like that, you don't know which one you're trying to get to. You just have to think about what the letters become and what might come out of it. This looks like angel. Let's have a look. Depart twice with large. So we've got an L on the end for large. Russian writer. Depart is to go. Twice is go go. L go goal. Go goal. I'm not sure who that was. My Russian literature isn't that good. We got this one again. I think that could be tree ring. I think the hazel or holly being girls' names, but also types of tree. Holly tree, hazel tree. Let's try an I in there and see what we're going to get. And then I'm going to have to go with tree ring because I can't think of what else. Foolish like 1 and 9. So 1 is coast, or 1 down is unknown. And 9 is that one across there. That's going to be asinine, isn't it, the answer? Foolish is asinine. As in 9. Nothing to do with the numbers of the crossword at all. I did think that was I did momentarily think as I was saying that it might be a step up. A step up for a crossword to be referencing other clues. But that's what sometimes the numbers are. But we've got as for like, and then 1 for I, and then 9 for 9. I mean, I think this has to be tree ring. So, I mean, it's cryptic from the perspective that the clue is leading you towards thinking of girls, holly and hazel, but actually it wants tree. So there's nothing complicated about the clue. If you think what might reveal the age of a tree, well, it's the tree ring. But obviously, if you think about girls, then it becomes really cryptic. Trendy rules for relatives by marriage. So I'm looking at that, looking 2 and 4, and my general thinking is there's only 3 or 4 words that normally go in there, in, and now we're talking about relatives for marriage. By marriage, we're talking about in-laws, and trendy is in, rules are laws. What we've got here, where campers may be showing determination. So that's another double definition. Campers go to campsites in tents, and literally they are intent. They are intense. So they're in a tent. So determination is your intent. If you Let's look at this one. Dog in place for experiments. Labrador. So place for experiments is lab, so double definition. I think we had lab for dog a few weeks back. Place for experiments, Labrador. So I've got a 3-letter word coming here. I haven't looked at this clue yet. It's starting with a B. Let's go to 17. Hope, perhaps for a shilling. Shilling's a bob, because I've got that B. Hope. Bob. Hope. Bob. Bob Hope. Bob Hope, yes, of course. What are we getting here? Puzzle for rebus. 5-letter word with B and S. Puzzle is a rebus, and I believe there's a fictional detective called Rebus. I'm not too sure. So we've just got these 2 left over here. What's this? Oh, it looks like caterpillar. Fits there to me. Yeah, future admiral or emperor. So again, we've got a misdirection. Admiral butterfly. I guess there's an emperor butterfly. So caterpillar. I think it's AR. And that, I guess, must be man used in chess. Must be a rook. So there we go. Let's check that. See if I've got it. Yep, all done. So there you go. I'll just talk through the clues again, have a look. So ascot is travelling, is an anagram of ascot to give a seaside area, which is coast. French writer never changes. Verne, so anagram of never is Verne, Jules Verne, the French writer. Wrote things like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Explosive device is a torpedo, and we've got depot or moved around, so anagram of depot or is torpedo. Starter of pork that is in pastry. So this is a good clue actually, because if you haven't got any checkers there, I think as a beginner I'd look at that clue and think, what is that? And then actually when you break it down, you've got starter of pork is P, and then that is, i.e. in Latin, that is. Comes up a lot in crosswords, reminds you that you need to really take into account all the words in a clue quite often, and in pastry is a pie. Swindle, man used in chess. So okay, this one I've not really come across swindle as being a rook, but I guess that's what it is. And a man used in chess. Well, as I went through earlier, the pieces on a chessboard are, one of them is the rook. I left that one deliberately because I wasn't sure until I had the R from caterpillar. Worst is diarist, and then detective inspector comes up as DI. Nice. There's a lot of words that begin DI, so they use DI for detective inspector, or sometimes use the word die for Diane, or Diane, die. Needs break from work, which is a rest, die rest. Where campers may be, showing determination. So that's campers are in a tent, and showing determination is your intent. So double definition there, I think. Antipodean fruit, definitely a double definition. So Kiwi, New Zealander is a Antipodean, someone in the southern hemisphere, and a fruit is a kiwi fruit. Dog is a Labrador, and a place for experiments is a laboratory. Foolish, like one, and I like this clue because I went off in a totally different direction and it was quite simple really. So foolish, so like is as, that's Bob is like Brian, as, I don't know, it doesn't work, does it? But anyway, as in that sense. And then click down 1 for 1, and then 9 literally written in, like 1 and 9. Asinine is foolish. Puzzle is a rebus. That's where you get little pictures of a series of pictures, and then you say, okay, that picture means that word, that picture means that word, and it gives you a phrase. Fictional detective is rebus. And depart twice, go, L for large. So I've got depart twice, so go twice, and L for large gives us the Russian writer Gogol. A future admiral or emperor. So this is one of these cryptics. When I only had 2 or 3 letters there, 3 letters there, I couldn't see what was going on. But the cryptic it's nothing to do with the army or leaders. Really, it's about butterflies, and a caterpillar eventually metamorphoses into a caterpillar, becomes a butterfly. Good charade here. Show is to air. You air something on TV, you show it. Fortified wine is port, and a transport hub is an airport. Might this reveal Hazel or Holly's age? So as I said before, we have in another cryptic definition, leading us to think about girls who are Hazel and Holly, and probably thinking, well, who is Hazel, who is Holly? Are there any famous ones? Holly Willoughby, Hazel Dean, who knows? But actually we're looking at trees, and tree rings reveal the age of a tree, possibly. Playing this, the performer ought to take a bow, but you can also read that as playing this, the performer ought to take a bow, because a violin, when you're playing a violin, that's what you need. And after you've played the violin, you take a bow. I think you take a bow before you start as well sometimes. Knock is to rap, and Jay-Z and Kanye West are rappers, so that's what they do. They rap. Nice simple double def there. Electric eel, yet another cryptic clue. A shocking swimmer. So yeah, there's not much more you can say about that one. That's what it is. Changing diet gins drunk. So we've got an anagram of diet gin, and we've got to lose. Well, the apostrophe says it's diet gin is drunk. So probably that indicates you should be using drunk to do the mixing up of letters, the anagram indicator, to get to changing. Anyway, editing is changing, and it's an anagram of diet gin, but sometimes which word is trying to get you to change, do the anagramming, isn't sure, so you just have to try different combinations until you get something that means one or the other. Trendy rules, so trendy is in, that's in fashion, and rules are laws, and relatives by marriage are in-laws. So we've got what have we got there? We've got a charade, I think. Yeah, charade in-laws. Got that one again, and then hope, perhaps for a shilling, so hope is to Bob. Again, something I'm not that. Oh, Bob Hope. I did. Yeah, Bob Hope, the old entertainer. So that's quite old, because I think he was born in about 1900 and died in about 2000, so a good 20 years ago. But fairly famous to my generation, although I've never watched any of his films. And a shilling, also an old thing. Old 5p is Bob is a shilling, and we are. And again, decimalisation was before even I was born. So another old clue. But you know what? I think that was a really nice, quick cryptic from Pickering there. I mean, I hope that was approachable for beginners. I think the long cryptic defs he put in there, or she put in there, were gettable. Not necessarily easy, but I think that was a good one. So thank you very much, Pickering. I hope you enjoyed watching that. If you've got any questions, then leave them down in the comments. Thank you.